I'm your Slocum 23, you're joining me for Edge of Extinction, Episode 8. Over the next few weeks, the group slowly regains a sense of normalcy. The dead are not forgotten, but the survivors find a way to move on, except for Anna. Still distraught over Pavel's death, she becomes quiet and withdrawn. At night, she goes to her tent and drinks herself into unconsciousness. Several of you attempt to reach out to her, but to no avail. There's no option but to wait until she's ready to talk. Grace and Sophia find another seaworthy ship, and the group again focuses on preparing for the journey to Seedwald. During the supply runs to stock the ship, Stig proves himself a useful member of the team. He is voted into the group by an overwhelming majority. I am starting to look like Jesus. Even so, you're surprised when Stig, Grace, and Joseph come to you together for a private audience. John, we need to speak to you. It's about Mari's pregnancy. Why are you coming to me? Stig's the doctor around here, not me. It's not a medical issue. Not exactly. Mari's not in incredible danger, but this is a very high-risk pregnancy. It's her first child. In strictly medical terms, she's malnourished. We all are. We can find enough food to sustain ourselves, but our diet is deficient in a lot of essential nutrients. Vitamins can't make up for that completely. And the conditions here in the church are far from ideal for delivering a child. I've explained the risk to Mari, and she's made it very clear. If anything goes wrong, she wants to save the baby, even at the cost of her own life. Will it come to that? Do you really think we have to choose between Mari and her baby? I hope not, but we have to be prepared for the possibility. Oof. And if it does come down to a choice, we can't let Mari just throw her life away. Not to mention the long-term implications. Mari's an adult. She'll have a lot more value to the group than an infant we have to care for. This is Mari's choice. I don't even know why we're having this discussion. It's Mari's child and it's her life. We have no right to weigh in. This will affect all of us, especially if Mari isn't around to help. Raising a child requires an incredible amount of effort and resources. We can't do a cost-benefit analysis of Mari's life versus her baby's. It's barbaric. This is the world we live in now, Joseph. Sometimes we must make decisions that seem harsh or unfeeling for the good of the group. Raising the baby isn't going to make the difference between long-term success and failure. I admit, having a child in the group will make things more difficult, but we can find a way to make it work. I agree with Joseph about the child, but I don't like the idea of letting Mari die to save the baby. It's Mari's call. We can't make this decision behind Mari's back, isn't right? I've spoken with her at length, as have Joseph and Grace. She isn't going to change her mind. And then neither am I. And I think we have our answer. Mari has the final say. Instead, convinced Grace to save the baby. I mean, if it comes to that, but she may be okay, but hopefully that's not where this game is building up. Stig looks over at Grace, who finally nods. I see I'm in the minority here. Hopefully none of this will even matter. If we're lucky, both mother and child will be healthy. At least it's something we can all agree on. As the day continues to roll on as Mari's due date approaches, Stig advises the young woman to take to her bed as a precaution. The group tracks down some medical textbooks in English, and Stig asks you and Joseph to study upon the sections covering childbirth. Mari has requested that all three of us be present during the delivery. I think she'll feel more comfortable if she knows we're all working together. Obviously, none of us have much experience delivering babies, so we should all familiarize ourselves with what could go wrong. The more you study, the more you realize the list of things that can go wrong is long and daunting. Breech birth, umbilical hernia, placenta previa. You're about to set your textbooks aside one night when Joseph comes to your tent. Something is clearly bothering him. You alright? You look nervous. So much for trying to not let it show. He glances around to see if anyone else is nearby. Mari could give birth any day now, and I don't think I'm ready. What if something goes wrong? What if I let her down? It's natural to be anxious. You care about her. You're worried about her. Not to mention, we've been focusing on everything that can possibly go wrong in our studies. No wonder you feel nervous. I think it's more than that. I'm just so overwhelmed. I've been cramming like a college student every night, but for some reason, nothing seems to stick. Luckily, you're not alone. This is why Stig wanted all three of us involved. If one of us doesn't know what to do, the others can step in. Maybe you're right. I hate the idea of not doing everything I can to be prepared as possible, but I'm probably just overreacting. Joseph tries to give you a reassuring smile, but you get the sense his heart isn't in it. Sorry I bothered you with this. I'll let you get some rest. Good night, John. You don't see much of Joseph over the next few days. He spends most of his time still locked away, studying his textbooks. When you do see him, he looks haggard, stressed, but to be fair, the impending birth has everyone on edge. When the final day arrives, it happens just as you're getting ready for bed. Grace comes rushing over to your tent. Her normally calm demeanor has been replaced by frantic urgency. Maury's gone into labor. They're waiting for you in the back. Hurry. By the time you get there, Stig and Joseph already have Maury on her back. Hildy is also there, holding the young woman's hand. Maury's face is soaked in sweat. Her brow is furrowed with intense focus and concentration. You kneel down beside her, and Maury gasps in pain as a contraction grips her. Hildy winces as the young woman's grip crushes her hand. Focus on the delivery. Breathe, Maury. Just like we practice. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Maury responds to your calm but commanding tone by loosening her grip on Hildy's hand and focusing on her breathing. Over the next hour, you and Stig guide Maury through the early stages of labor. Hildy and Joseph hover nearby, helping to calm and soothe her. As the time of delivery nears, Stig shifts his focus from the mother to the child about to emerge into this world. He crouches down between her legs, and then suddenly sits up. From his face, you can tell something's very wrong. What's the matter? What is it? I see a foot. The baby's in a breech position. Which means the umbilical cord might be around its neck. Breech? What is breech? It means the baby's coming out backwards. Your mind goes back to the medical text as you play through all the possible scenarios, fully aware this delivery just became much more complicated. Is it bad? Will the baby die? Stig, can you handle this? Do you know what to do for a breech birth? Stig hesitates for a moment before giving an empathetic nod. We need to get Maury on all fours. It's better delivery position for a breech birth. You and Hildy manage to roll Maury over and get her on her hands and knees. Stig, watch the umbilical cord. Make sure it isn't tangled. I can't tell for sure. It looks like the cord might be compressed. Stig is right, the baby won't be getting any oxygen. We need to move fast, get the baby out, but you need to keep the head and body aligned. I got it. The baby's in position. Maury, you have to push. The young woman looks over at you, her eyes wide with fear. You heard him, Maury. Push. Push now. Maury cries out in pain, but she bravely follows your orders. You slip around to help Stig with the final stages of the delivery. Stig is trying to coax the baby out. At first, nothing happens, and you fear its arm might be stuck in the birth canal. Then it slips free all at once into his waiting arms. You see it's a boy, and it isn't breathing. You press your thumb against its soft chest, quickly rub up and down his breastbone. In response to stimulation, the baby squirms and struggles, then he coughs twice before letting loose a loud, long wail. What's wrong? Why is she crying? Is she hurt? You did great, Maury. Congratulations, Mom. You just gave birth to a healthy son. I have a son? Beautiful boy? You work with Stig to save the child. Stig cuts and ties off the umbilical cord as you and Hildy, I say and twice, help Maury lie down on her back again. Joseph cleans the baby off and puts him in the eager arms of his mother. She cradles him tight against her as tears stream down her cheeks. I will name him Pavel. We always wanted children. Now his name will live in my son. You glance at Stig, wondering if this will stir up any guilt over his role in Pavel's death. But he isn't bothered by the name. He doesn't show it. Pavel. It's a good name. We should let you rest, Mari. Hildy can stay with you. We'll go tell the others everything is okay. The young woman nods, but her eyes never leave the face of her baby. As you leave, she calls out, Steve, John, Joseph, thank you. Yay, we delivered a baby. You head back into the main part of the church. Now that the crisis is over, you feel absolutely exhausted. But you have one more task before you can sleep. Despite the late hour, the entire group is up and anxiously waits news. It's a boy. Mother and baby are both doing fine. A surge of well-wishers come up to congratulate you on the successful delivery, but you can tell everyone is eager to see Mari, but you decide to let Hildy deal with that as you crawl into your tent and pass out. You're woken from a deep sleep a few hours later by the sound of someone muttering a loud curse. You call out of your tent, the church is dark, everyone else is sleeping, but then you see a dim figure moving through the shadows. Anna, is that you? At the sound of your voice, she turns and stumbles in your direction through the dark. You light a small lamp, and two things jump out at you. Anna is holding a half-empty bottle of vodka in her hands, and she's very, very drunk. She speaks in slightly too loud, sluttering whisper. John, what are you doing up? Are you okay? I'm worried about you, Anna. You don't have to worry about me. I'm doing great. She tilts the bottle up to her lips and takes a long pull. Did you hear? Mari had her baby. We should be celebrating. She named him Pavel. Can you believe that, Pavel? I guess it does make sense. After all, we traded Pavel's life for his, didn't we? She's trying to honor him. I think Mari meant it as a sign of respect, to show she appreciates the sacrifice Pavel made. Of course she appreciates it. She and Pavel were never close. She barely even noticed he's gone. She takes another long drink from her bottle. I still see him whenever I close my eyes. Lying there in the pool of his own blood, the memory haunts me like a ghost. It feels like some kind of punishment, like we're trapped in hell, being made to suffer for all of our past sins. Or maybe this is purgatory and we're stuck here until we learn our lesson, until we learn to obey God's will. You're not thinking clearly. You've been upset ever since his death. You've been drinking too much. It's affecting your judgment. Maybe. Or maybe now I'm finally thinking clearly. Maybe now I'm starting to see the truth. Maybe Pavel was right. Maybe he and I were supposed to be together. Maybe all this is happening because I left him. I want to say I can't deal with this anymore. Like, I get it, but at the same time, my God, do you flip-flop so damn much? You were right to leave. You and Pavel wanted different things. You weren't right for each other. That's why you left. It sounds so simple when you say it. It's so clear. Whenever I start thinking about it, everything gets all messed up. I just don't feel like myself right now. I can't sleep. When I close my eyes, I keep seeing the hermit lying there dead at my feet. I keep telling myself I had no choice. I didn't do anything wrong, but for some reasons I can't get past it. Let me help you. I'm your friend, Anna. I want to be there for you, but you can't keep shutting me out. She doesn't answer right away. Instead, she just stares at you, as if you were speaking a language she didn't understand. She turns away from you and, without saying another word, stumbles off into the darkness. You consider going after her, but in her current condition, you're not even sure she'll remember this conversation in the morning. You watch her go, and turn and crawl back into your tent, and your waiting bed. When you wake, late the next morning, Anna is still sleeping off her late night bender. You head to the kitchen, make yourself a quick breakfast, and as you're finishing up, Grace calls everyone together for a group meeting. Anna isn't the only one missing. The group assembles in the pews, so are Mari and her baby, and Hildy. Once everyone is seated, Grace, with Joseph at her side, steps to the front. Let me start off reassuring everyone that Mother and Baby are both doing great. They're resting comfortably, and Hildy is with them. But just because Mari is resting doesn't mean the rest of us have that luxury. Spring will be here in a few weeks. When the snow and ice melt, we want to have everything ready to head out to the seed vault. I know this is something we've been working towards for a long time, but now is more important than ever. Mari's baby is a reminder that humanity can still have a future. It's our job to try and secure the future for ourselves and future generations. It won't be easy, but we need to get Joseph to the seed vault so he can develop toxin-resistant crops. What about Anna? I know we've all been hoping Anna will snap out of her depression if we just give her time, but I think she's getting worse. Last night she was stumbling around, so drunk she could barely stand. Grace frowns and gives a sharp nod. You're right. We can't just keep ignoring this. At the very least, maybe we can get her to stop drinking so much. She's not going on patrol anymore. Maybe Hildy needs to keep any alcohol we have on hand locked up. I'll have a chat with her, see where she's at, and we can't let her distract us. We've been through a lot together, but now we're nearing the end and we need to stay focused. I think Mari's son is a sign, a symbol of a brighter future just ahead. Now we just have to reach out and grab it. Despite her rousing words, the biggest reaction is only nods of agreement among the group. Before we go, I just want to add one more thing. I know everyone is excited to meet Mari and Pavel, but we don't want to overwhelm her, so Hildy is setting a schedule for everyone to take turns visiting them over the next few days. As the rest of the group disperses, Grace and Joseph approach you in shadow. So much for rallying the troops. I was hoping for cheers and applause. Instead I get a mild approval. Everyone's just tired. It's been a long winter. Not to mention everyone was up late worrying about Mari. I just think everyone still needs time to process how amazing this is. It's a lot to wrap your hand around. Give everyone a little time and they'll start to appreciate the miracle of a healthy child being born in a post-collapse world. I suppose you're right. I just hope we're ready for by the time the weather warms up enough for us to leave. Your relationship with the group has improved. Over the next week, everyone in the group settles into the routines of the new reality. Mari and Pavel are the center of attention, and there's a growing sense of optimism among the group. On supply runs, people start bringing back non-essentials like toys for the baby or books to read on the trip to Svalbard. There we go. You're on one of the supply runs when you notice the weather is finally starting to change. The endless chill of the long Norwegian winter is grudgingly giving way to warmer weather, causing you to sweat under your winter gear. Oh boy, maybe it's time for something new. Find a new indoor outfit for spring. Maybe it's time for something new. Focus on the supply run. You decide some mild discomfort isn't enough to distract you from what really matters, gathering supplies for the boat. Wipe away the perspiration on your forehead, knowing it won't be much longer before you set out on your journey. The seed vault is waiting, and with it a chance for a better future. Okay, Anna gave us trusted, Joseph best friend, we are finally neutral with Grace, Mari likes us, and we are trusted by Stig. Rest in peace, Lewis, David, and Pavel. That being said, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Whatever happened to ads? There used to be ads for this. Sad face. I will be working my hardest to get this stuff caught up as soon as humanly possible. Sorry, I've been working on a ton of content and trying to not just work on 2 specific apps. I've been trying to work on all new games and working on some side projects, as well as dealing with some issues in my real life and things like that, you know. Oh, once again, thanks for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Peace.